again, YouTube. I'm Ross, the Oliver Man, and welcome back to the channel where you get to see a slightly obese white man in his mid-30s do things that OSHA would frown upon. When I last left you yesterday, this was sitting on the ground. And last night I decided to move the wheels up here, and then one thing led to another, and I got it this far and didn't get any footage of it. So I need to put that wheel back on the center, and then I need to put these clamps on everything, because I said in the last video somebody had wanted to buy these rims and tires, but it never ended up happening, and I had started to take them off, and so now I get to put them back again. This rim was actually kind of stuck on the center, and that's why it's still hanging in here. Got it up on a house, I call them a house jack. I don't know. I use these quite often when I take wheels off of tractors because it's got a lot of height to it and it's solid. It won't move around as much as some of the other jacks and blocks and things. So we'll put you down somewhere and get started on this project. Before we put this on, I should point out that these rims actually have lugs made into them so that the rim doesn't spin on the center. And so you got to get that lined up with the notch in the casting there. And it's fairly close, so it shouldn't be too hard to maneuver it around, and then we can start putting wedges on. I don't have all of the bolts that came out of this tractor, so I'm hunting through my pile to come up with enough to just at least get it on 4 wheels. So anyway, we'll put you down and get started. So that was fairly painless. This is mainly the trouble I was having was getting those lugs to line up right inside of that center into that notch, but got that done. Now it's just a matter of getting these different nuts off of here and putting the wedges on, and somewhere over time some of these have been replaced because they've got different size nuts on them, but that's fine. So I went to town this morning and thought I'd get a can of PB Blaster to help with some of this stuff. And they only had this one can, and it was in the back of the shelf. And I pulled it out and grabbed it and took it up and bought it. And then when I brought it home, it's brake cleaner. So I think PB Blaster needs to make the can a totally different color or something. Or people like me just need to read better, because I sure didn't see that until I got it home and went to put the little straw in it. So I'll use it, but it was way more expensive than the brake cleaner I normally buy. So anyway, we'll get started on the wedges. Well, it's just that easy. Unfortunately, I twisted one off, which is easy to do on these old rusty studs, so somewhere along the line I'll fix that, but not today. Our next goal is to get the front end under it so that we can have it on 4 wheels, and I'll probably go ahead and run the tap through the threads of those bolt holes, because I don't know how long it's been that the front end's been off of this. The rear end hasn't been apart that long, but the front half of the frame has been sitting a while, so we'll try that and see what happens. Okay, so we got those front holes cleaned and tapped. Now I'll go ahead and do these 3 for the triangle shaped brace. And then I'll probably wire wheel this all off like we did yesterday to clean up the mating surfaces on the 2. Some people are probably wondering why I don't use one of those sets that has the ratchet. I've used those before and I really don't like them. When I'm doing thread cutting, I like to be able to feel what's going on and be able to back it up and go forward, you know, as necessary. And I found with those ratcheting ones, it's really not that handy. So I still prefer the old school stuff. And this set here I've had for years. It's a Chinesium set of something. I don't know where it came from, but somewhere like Harbor Freight, but it works great. So we'll get back to these 3 and then we'll try to figure out how to get that foot under here in a very graceful manner. Well, these are being quite the problem. You can see how deep the hole is down in there. So this could take quite a while, but it'll be well worth the effort if the threads are that rusty. So we'll get back to work and see what happens. Well, that was a long ordeal, but that's done. And like I said, it's not wasted effort. Cleaning out threads like that will save you a lot of headache later on when you're putting stuff together. So it's just a good idea to take care of that. Now, we're gonna figure out how to put this under there. This is not the front end that came out of this tractor. This is one out of my stash of stuff because it's already put together and more complete. The other one, I was gonna have to replace some spindles and stuff, and I really don't want to fool with that, so I'll just use this one. Well, there it is. Again, it wasn't the most graceful, but it worked. 3 loader tractors, and you can accomplish about anything. This would have been a great job for my forklift, but instead of working on it this summer, I keep acquiring more projects, so hopefully soon I'll get time to work on that, and that'll make things like this a whole lot easier. So now I need to find some more bolts, because I don't have quite long enough ones in there. So, and the 2 front ones need to be even longer. So I'm gonna have to go hunt some bolts, and then we'll see if we can get some wheels put on and make it a roller. Well, as promised, here we are back on 4 wheels. So we're headed in the right direction. I'm woefully short of bolts, so I need to go find some of the right length bolts, and then we should be in good shape. I forgot to mention today's episode is sponsored by the Handyman Jack. If you're not afraid of death, the handyman jack might be the tool for you. Remember, if you like Oliver and White videos, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and I can keep making more stuff that features Oliver and White tractors. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.